Retropets.
Retropets, yeah, Retropets.
Retropets gallery.
This is the gallery.
This is the gallery.
I've only had this for a year.
Okay. Are you ready? Cool. All right, we're talking with Krista Brooks, and we are in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we are at Retropets, and we just met you, and obviously you got a lot of stuff going on. We saw your guy in the back there. We saw your stuff, which I got some shots of that. But you started off with these things, these postcards that you're doing.
Well, I started off with bigger, actually. I had just been fired from my waiting tables job, and I had about $50 literally to my name. And I said, I'm not supposed to be waiting tables, I'm supposed to be doing art, and so I was determined. I just moved to Santa Fe. And so I pulled my portfolio out and marched it all around, trying to there's so many artists here. I couldn't get anything. And so a friend of mine just kind of felt sorry for me. He said, you're an artist, you want to do a commission of my dog, you want to do a painting? I'll give you $300. I said, yeah, I had 50. At that point, I probably had 20.
Yeah.
And he said, he gave me pictures of little dog Fergus, little Jack Russell, and one of the pictures he was sort of jumping. I said, okay, so I love vintage graphics. So I'm going to do this as a beer label. I'm going to paint it really large. I'm going to antique it. So it's a Flying Fergus Pale Ale, good dog, good beer. And little Fergus was jumping through the center. And so that was October of 97. And then by July of 98, I figured out I could take commissions. I went out to this Tsuzuki flea market, which at the time was really cool. A lot of artists out there, really fun energy. And Jason lent me his painting back every weekend. He worked on the weekends. He left his door open for me on Saturdays. I'd drive up, I'd get it off the wall, throw it in the back of my pickup truck, and drive out to Tsuzuki, trying to get commissions.
This is like a sample of my work. This is
yeah,
not for sale,
and I had a questionnaire. I said, you can get a commission and I'll, do something different for your dog. So that's how it started.
So basically, people would give you a photograph.
Yeah,
and then you'd go from there.
Yeah, and then they'd fill out a questionnaire, like what's your pet's motto or philosophy on life, or if your pet wrote a personals ad, what would that say? Or one of my favorite questions is, what high school personality best fits your pet, like jock or brainiac or most likely to end up in prison. So
very cool, and then you can customize it, so it's really personal.
Yeah, very personal.
Awesome.
And that's what I used to do. I don't do that anymore.
You don't do that anymore. Before, because all I've seen in here, I saw the dog stuff, and I saw this angel, or no, this girl on a swan or something back in the back there. That's yours
yeah,
too, right?
that when I very first moved to Albuquerque, I was living in Martha's Vineyard. I moved to Albuquerque, trained out here from Boston. And because my walls were blank, I did have my graphic design books, and I love vintage graphics, so I had one called Italian Art Deco. And that image was in it as like a calendar. There were 2 images. And so just to have something to put on my wall, I painted that and I antiqued it. Because I had done that, when Jason asked, for his commission, I thought, oh, I'll do it large and I'll antique it, because I had done a few of those.
Okay. So you don't do many of the large ones anymore. You're pretty much just doing the
I would if the price was right, but I basically I do them in my computer now in a program called Painter, Corel Painter. So have you ever seen anybody working with like a tablet and a stylus, maybe in Photoshop or something like that? I use that in Painter, and you can paint oils or acrylics or chalk or crayon or pen and ink or pencil, anything. So I do all the paintings now in Painter, and then have prints made, and I wholesale the prints to like gallery gift shops and greeting card places, or pet boutiques.
The story with Jason is really cool, and I know you're obviously doing this stuff, these prints and stuff, like on a mass thing, wholesale, and that's keeping you afloat financially and stuff. Are there any like particularly cool stories with besides that one that maybe, through a pet owner or something that really was just a really interesting something that happened out of doing something for their pet and you know what I mean? Because there's really people that are really passionate about their pets.
Oh yeah.
You're connecting with them through their pet, and their pet is the connection, I guess, with these people. Is there any interesting stories, crazy stories?
God, I'm sure there's so many.
Or even have you met some of the dogs?
Yeah. I meet them.
Or the cats? Or do you do cats? I didn't see cats.
There's three.
There's three cats
so far.
Okay.
But there's this pit bull that I knew. Well, I didn't know the woman. I think it was a commission maybe originally, or no, maybe she just gave me pictures of her pit bull. But every time I do, if I really get it right, people will say, "Oh, you must have Jack Russells, you must have pugs, you must have pit bulls." But it's because of the questionnaire. Like this woman with the pit bull, which they get such a bad rap, so I try to do artwork that's really positive.
Sure, yeah.
But for nicknames, under nicknames, I said, "What are your dog's nicknames?" And she wrote, "Love Monster" was one, and the Bottomless Pit Bull was another. So I was like, okay, easy. Love Monster, doggy treats for your Bottomless Pit Bull. So,
cool.
There's always stuff like that, but when people connect with them, like I had, one of my most popular ones for years running was one called the Portly Pug Pub, Eat, Drink, and Be Puggy. And it's kind of, was done from a photograph of this pug kind of looking out. You see the pug, and then this round body, you barely see the feet. And I was talking to a woman that was at a craft fair, and she had a plaque, and it was just starting. And she said, she called. She's like, "I need to get more." She's like, "This woman bought it, and I wanted to make her wait, but she was like so emotional about it. She just like had to have it. She was just like ripping it out of my hands." That's great, if I can get that connection. I'm sorry, I can't think of a funny story. I'm sure there are a lot.
Oh, I'm sure there's a number. How far can people? What's your distribution as far as country and world, or
some stores in Japan, some stores in Switzerland, some stores in Germany.
You have to alter any kind of language? No, you just keep it like that.
Yeah, we just keep it like that. I thought about it, but a lot. It's kind of like if you saw a poster in French, it'd be cool. It wouldn't matter if you could read it or not.
You say like, "You suck." You're like,
"Yeah, I'm
dumb
stupid."
American.
Yeah. But in Japan, they like the American writing.
It's novel.
English.
Yeah. Sure.
Exactly. So no, we don't translate because that can be really tricky. I was told, you have to get it. There could be some nuance that you don't
Especially
get.
with what you're doing, those kind of sloganish things.
Yeah. So at this point, we don't have a lot of stores overseas. We have some, and nobody said anything about changing the language.
So what's the next step? You're gonna just stay right here in this
We
gallery?
love this gallery, and it wouldn't be a gallery if it wasn't for Randall, because when we rented this space, I'd been working out of my house is a duplex. We're working out of the back of the house, and decided to expand, and just was going to use it for fulfillment. And then Randall said, "Well, you've got a lot of space here." And he built a wall, and we made a gallery, and it's so much fun for me to have my works of art up on the wall and framed. And
Sure. Very cool.
So next we're doing some trade shows. We want to get, want to do more cats for sure. Everybody wants more cats. I want to do pigs.
Pigs would work out.
I got an idea. It's going to say "You had me at Oink," and I just have to do the artwork for it. I even put the domain name.
You had me at Oink. I like that.
A lot of people collect pigs, so.
Well, good. Well, thanks for the hospitality here.
Yeah.
You got a really cool place here, and I'm glad we made it out here to visit with you. Cool.
All right.
Bye.
I'm going to stop it in just 1 second. Oh, come on.